All right, we are ready to rumble. But before we head out and begin to cure the world here, let's talk about what you can do on your turn, okay? And the rules are really simple for this game. You're allowed to take 4 actions in any order, and you could take one action 4 times or 4 different actions. It's totally up to you. We have these handy little reference cards here that sort of explain to you what your choices are. Okay, so let's real quick just run through these. You'll see them as I play, but just to get you some idea of what our choices are. There's 4 ways to move in this game. Okay, the first way is called to drive or ferry, and that's just moving your pawn to any city connected by one of these little red travel lines. So for example, let's see, we could take Trapper John here, a medic, and we can move him 1, 2, 3, 4 up here to Paris, okay? That would take all 4 of his movement points, and then his turn would be over. You can see you can travel on the continents, you can travel across the continents as long as you're following these little red movement lines. It's probably the most basic and the slowest way to get anywhere. The next play you could take is to do a direct flight, all right? Discard a card to move your pawn to the city pictured on it, okay? So Trapper John here, he happens to have London, okay? So if he wanted to, on his turn, we can discard London from our hand and fly him directly for 1 movement point to London. All right. This card, however, remember, takes 4 of the same color, or actually 5 of the same color of cards to cure a disease. Okay. So when we burn one of these cards for movement, we're 1 step farther away from curing because it takes a character 5 cards of the same color to cure a disease, right? Unless you are the scientist, Madame Curie. Her ability says simply, you need only 4 cards of the same color to discover a cure. All right? So if we can get her 4 of the same color, we can take that disease down, right? So burning them for movement is, it's a choice, but it does have consequences. Okay? So you can charter what they call a direct flight, and that's you burn the card to move to the city pictured on it, but you can also use these in reverse, okay? Chartering a flight. Discard the card showing your current city and move to any city on the board, okay? So let's just say for giggles that Trapper John's standing up there in London and he desperately needs to get to Atlanta. Again, we can discard the city he's in, and now he can move anywhere he wants for 1 movement point. Okay, we're losing cards from our hand, but we're moving fast. Okay. And the last way you can travel is to shuttle. Okay, move to a city containing a research station. If your pawn is in a city containing a station. All right. So remember, we have 6 of these cute little homes, and if one of them happened to be in London, then either Trapper John or Madame Curie could fly there for 1 movement point. Don't have to burn any cards. They just get to go, right? So these are worth building. These are worth building. How do we build them? Well, those are your basic movement actions, special actions. And the first is build a research station. And to build it, we have to discard a card showing the city you're in. All right. So if Trapper John is sitting in London, he has to burn London to get a research station there. Okay. Anyone can do it, anyone can build it, as long as you have the card in your hand. Your next special action Discover a cure. I've already talked about that. You need 5 cards of the same color. You also have to go to a research station. Another reason to build these cute little houses everywhere. Of course, for Madame Curie, it's only 4 cards. Ha ha ha. And this is the one we're probably going to play a lot. Treat disease. Okay. Remove a disease cube from the city your pawn occupies. Okay. And if the cure's been found, well, we'll do something special. But for now, it'll take removing 1 cube from a city. It's going to take 1 of our 4 action points. So for Madame Curie, our scientist, to cure Atlanta, she will have to use 2 of her 4 action points. Right? Ah, but wait, there's more. There's always more. Trapper John, our medic, remember? He's our ground force. Check out his ability. Remove all cubes of a single color when you treat a city. And once we cure one, he gets to remove for free. But for now, before we have a cure, this means Trapper John can move into Paris here for 1 action point. And for a 2nd action point, he can wipe out all 3 of these cubes. Okay? Our scientist, that would take 3 action points. But our medic, he can do it with 1. Okay? He's our ground force. We're going to send him out and about, demolishing these diseases. All right? And that's it. Oh no, there's one more. Ha, just kidding. Share knowledge. This is a hard one to do. This is how you pass cards, right? Because you're trying to get the same color to make a cure. So sometimes you will want to pass maybe a blue card to your medic if he's collecting blue, or a black to the scientist. But the problem is, you can pass a card, but both players' pawns must be in the city pictured on the card that's passed. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, let's stick with London here. Trapper John's hanging out in London. Doesn't build a research station. But he wants to give this to Madame Curie. The only way to pass it is if she moves to London. And then on his turn, they're in the same city, and they have a card for the city they're in, right? This is the only card they can pass, London, all right? So they need to get to the same city, and it needs to be the turn of the person holding the card, okay? So you can pass cards, but it's not the most efficient method. What we're going to be hoping for is that we draw 5 cards of the same color. Okay, because passing them is difficult. There is a character, I believe it's the scientist, whose special ability makes passing cards easier. And I'm not playing with her. I wanted my medic. Okay. So that's everything you can do on your turn. You have 4 points. You can spend them moving, curing, passing, or building a research station. Right? Okay. So with that knowledge under our belt, let's reset our board to our start and get ready to play our first turn. And I think the rules say that whoever was sick last gets to begin, but since I'm playing solo, I'm going to pick. I'm going to start with my medic, okay? Because I really don't like all of these cities side by side. They have a possibility to chain react here, so I would love to get Trapper John up here somewhere. Okay, and I have 4 movement points to do so, and if we walk it, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can get to Paris, but it's going to burn our whole turn. And I don't know if I want to do that because I do have London. All right. Let's start by taking a flight. Let's discard London. We'll move Trapper John for 1 point here. He has 3 more points. All right. I can move here for 2, cure for 3, and move here for 4. Now, the problem is Paris, Essen, St. Petersburg. Essen is connected to both of these cities, okay? So if Essen goes kablooey, it's gonna chain react with these, and they're both going to go kablooey. All right. So if I can only cure one of these three on my turn, I'm going to go for Essen. Okay, so I don't have to worry about chain reactions, right? So I flew for one. I'm going to move for two. I'm going to cure for three. Okay. Now I have to decide for my last movement point, do I want to head towards St. Petersburg or Paris? And Paris here, they're connected to 5 cities. So if they have an epidemic and explode and go viral, they're going to hit 5. Whereas St. Petersburg, 1, 2, 3, they're only going to hit 4. So I think I'm going to spend my last movement point heading into Paris. And next turn, I'll have Trapper John take care of the flesh-eating disease there. Oops, sorry. And, okay, so we spent our 4 movement points. We now get to pull 2 cards from our player deck. Let's see what we get. All right, 2 cards, and it's the first turn, so I'm hoping I did a decent shuffle job, and we don't have any epidemics waiting on top here. Nice. Atlanta, 2. Last one. Baghdad. All right. 7-hand limit, only at 5. So Trapper John's turn is done. So now we get to play the Infector. And let's see where this disease moves. Okay, our infection rate is set to 2. So we're only going to have to pull 2 cities. London. Ah, wow. The flesh-eating plague is really moving fast. I get 1 cube. And Beijing. Okay, other side of the board. They get 1 cube as well. Right. Trapper John, your turn is over. Time to move on to our scientist. Let's check out the board and see where we want to send her next. All right, my little scientist, where are you headed? Okay, Trapper John's up there in Europe, and I'm hoping he's got the blues under control. So I think what I'm going to do with our scientist is I'm going to have her clear out this little bit of infection here. I'm going to send her across the board. I don't know if you can see these red arrows. They wrap around. So San Francisco will loop you through to the other side over there. Okay, over there. And it looks like we have a little bit of stuff happening. So I might just try to clear this and then walk her across the continent, because I'm not sure. Remember, she only needs 4 cards. Hoping to pull some more yellows, maybe. Maybe. See what happens. So let's just, she's standing in Atlanta. So 1, 2, action points, 3, 4. We'll enter in Mexico City. Just waiting to take care of that little bit of a malaria plague. And 2 more cards, and hopefully we'll pull some yellows. Red. Okay, okay. We can do that. And a black. Oh, man. Wow. That's tough. We haven't reached our hand limit yet, 2, 4, 6. But I haven't been tipped in either direction as far as which cards to collect. Okay. Well, put her on hold for a second. Whoops, let's play the Infector next. 2 cards. Algiers gets a cube. And Lima. All right. Lima. Okay. All right, if we've wrapped back around to our medic, let's see what he can do. Trapper John, what are we going to have you do? Okay, so he's kind of where he needs to be already. We have 2 triple threat cities, so I know for sure my first action point, he's going to clear Paris for 1, 2, 3, Take care of St. Petersburg for 4. But you know what I'd really like to do next? Baghdad. Centrally located, and I'd love to get down there and stick a research station. Well, everything is quiet, of course. Things could change by the time his return comes back around, but for now, I think that's going to be my plan of attack. Okay, he's taking his 4 action movements. Let's see what he gets for player cards. Okay, Trevor John, we're at 5, so we can hold the next 2 cards and see if we get lucky here. Oh, a special event. Fabulous. I think there are 6 of these cards in the deck. They're all unique. They give you a special ability. All right. This one says, the next player to begin playing the infector phase of their turn may skip that phase entirely. So that means we don't go up there to the infection deck and draw 2 cards, right? We'll just skip that. Have a quiet night. The cool part about these special events is that you can play at any time. They don't require an action. Don't think we need this yet. We don't have a lot happening. Let's hold on to this card for now. Let's pull one more. Okay? See what we get. Shanghai. Again, I'm not seeing a dominant color appear yet. May have to go another turn here. All right, let's play the infector. See what cities get hit. Okay, 2 cards. Here we go. Riyadh gets cube, as well as Miami. Okay, let's get those on the board. And then let's figure out what scientist is going to attack next. Okay, our scientist. Such a tough choice. Remember, she only needs 4 of the same color to cure. So I'm really hesitant to burn any of these cards for movement. My fear is that if I fly to Beijing, well, I'm going to end up drawing some red cards and regret it. And if I burn a yellow, same thing. So I would really like to hold on to these through one more draw phase if possible. If that's the case, then it means she's moving old school, right? Step by step. So let's risk it. Let's hold on to these just to the end of this hand and keep her local, okay? So she has 4 points to move and cure. Let's do 1, 2. Send her to Lima or Miami. Let's keep her up here. 3 and 4. Wow, that wasn't a great round. Nothing really earth-shattering there. But I'm hoping it's worth it with this next card. Of course, if it's blue, then I'm in the same boat and I'm just going to have to make a call. But I'm hoping to see one of these colors pop up. It's going to make my deciding a little bit easier. There it is. 3. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's at her max, so she's going to have to discard something. More. Okay. Decided for me. I'm going to have to get rid of one of these 2 black cards. Let's see where things are located. Moscow. Well, Medic's already there. Delhi over here. Okay. Let's toss Moscow. And we are heading, we want to hold on to our reds and our yellows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hand size. Got it. Okay, little scientist. Let's see what you can do. Infector next. 2 cards. Chicago. Oh, San Francisco. Oh dear. Oh dear, we're getting a lot of blue cards. All right, it's making me a little bit nervous. But it's our medic's turn. Fabulous. Okay, so our plan for our medic. So remember, our scientist had a hand heavy in yellow and red. So I'm thinking we can burn those for movement and not really worry about it for our medic. He's probably not going to be collecting these. he might want to hold on to those a little bit. Okay. But man, I'd really like to get a research station going. So let's head over to Baghdad. Okay. It's kind of on the way to the Mumbai area, and if we can get a research station down, that much better. So let's head to Istanbul for 1, Baghdad for 2. Let's burn Baghdad. Give ourselves a research station and head into Karachi for 4, and then hopefully I can get down to Mumbai, take care of that. Hand limit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Gonna have to burn one of these cards, but I think I can do those. Getting a little bit nervous because we haven't hit an epidemic yet. And I'm thinking it's slowly floating to the top. Okay. Okay, we're at our hand limit. Last one. All right. Let's see. Which one do I want to get rid of? Where is Lagos? Is anything happening in Lagos? Not really. Not really. Lagos can go. And we're back to our hand limit of 7. Okay. Now let's play the infector. 2 cities succumb. Buenos Aires. And Seoul. Okay. Okay. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Now, we stalled for our scientist, and I think that was worth it. She's got 3 and 3. She needs that darn 4th card of either color. Remember, she has to go to a research station to cure, so I don't want to send her out into the boonies just in case she manages to pull her magic 4th card. So I could fly her to Delhi, which would stick her up there. She could take a shuttle flight between research stations, which would stick her over there as well. Or she could just kind of hang here and cure. Man, that's gonna be tough. Maybe I'll just keep her near Atlanta. Just have her wander the board a little bit. Maybe take care of some of these outlying disease cubes, right? 1, 2, 3, and cure. And that would keep her 1, 2, within 4 of Atlanta. How does that sound? Or I can take out this corner. Keep her near the San Francisco connection, just in case the bird flu takes off. Let's do that. Okay. 1, 2, cure it for 3, move her for 4. Again, not the most spectacular of moves, but I'm sort of killing time until I pull that magic 4th card. This is the moment. 2 cards. Okay, not the one we wanted. Right, Epidemic. Let me show you how this works. Now remember, she gets to pull 2 cards. So after we resolve this, she's going to have to pull her 2nd card. All right, don't let me forget. But the epidemics. Okay. Each of these cards are the same. There's 4 of them that I've shuffled into the player deck there. And they have 3 steps. All right. So let's go through them one at a time.